Hey, you guys, it's your girl G from Surviving Our Broken Pieces. Listen, y'all, forgive me, forgive me. Look, I've been trying to work on this screen, y'all, try to figure out how to get this thing done. If you can like, tag, and share, I'm trying to see now, am I live on Facebook? And if I am, listen, you guys, please like, tag, and share the podcast. Um, oh my God, we are live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you can like, tag, and share, I thank everybody for being part of Surviving Our Broken Pieces. Listen, I can't see everybody. I really can't see who's on when you do screen, y'all. That's the the thing that I don't like about doing it, using it this way, because I really can't see who I'm tagging in. But for those of you guys who see and know that I am live, please pass it on. Let people know that we are on live doing Surviving Our Broken Pieces. Hey, yes, how are you, sis? How are you? How are you? Listen, this screen y'all stuff is crazy. I've been messing around with this. I almost called you, yeah. So y'all, please excuse me for coming on late. Everything is a process and learning. I'm in my learning phase, trying to figure this thing out. Trying to figure this thing out. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have a whole crew doing all of this, and I ain't even gonna have to worry about it. Uh, I'm gonna leave this to the crew and let the crew handle it. I ain't even gonna deal with it. But again, to like, tag, and share, y'all. I thank everybody for being coming on and supporting and everything. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Um, it's so good to be live on. So good to even be talking to you guys. You don't even understand it. When we all get together and we begin to talk and discuss, it's good for everybody. Like, it's good for everybody. It's motivation to help each other, push each other, take us to a whole another level. So I just thank God for it. I do. I thank God for it. Hey, Pastor Katina, how are you? Like I said, I can't go live. So if y'all could just, excuse me, I can't tag. So if y'all could just tag some people, I greatly appreciate it. We got a topic on tonight, and it's crazy because when I went on Facebook the other day, I seen someone even discuss, and I say, look at them discussing my topic. But listen, this is the topic for today. Like I said, tag some people. If anybody feel like they want to come live with me, let me know. I don't have a problem with that. Understand that this is a judge-free zone. Nobody judging anybody. We all just here to help each other. And the topic for tonight is: can your grown children destroy? Can your grown children destroy a marriage? Can grown children destroy a marriage? Let me say it right. Can grown children destroy a marriage? That's what we're going to talk about on tonight. That's what we're going to talk about on tonight. So please share this thing, because I talked to two different couples, and one lady was telling me that how she ended up her marriage ended up being destroyed because of the fact that and she realized it later, the fact that she ended up you know questioning the yes, they can if you let them. Absolutely, yes. She ended up questioning her husband loyalty towards her and the children, or towards her. Everything that the children said, it made put him on a defense mode. He was always in a defense. And she said she realized that after the divorce, she realized that where he was supposed to be the head, she allowed them to dictate the house. She allowed them to make the rules in the house, and it cost her marriage. She said, I lost my soulmate because I chose my children. And I told her, I said, how did you allow that situation? I mean, how did it? Because see, like I said, I want to know, because I have grown kids too. So, and when she said, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, how did you allow the children to control the household? So of course, you know me, I asked, I said, so how did you let them control your household? When did you give them that type of authority? She said, I gave it to him, not realizing that I gave it to him, because they would come to me and say different things, and I would be on the defense mode. Anything that he asked them to do, I got on the defense mode. Anything that he asked me to ask them to do, she said, what was so crazy about it? He didn't even ask them. He asked me to ask them. And whatever he asked, I got on defense mode. And I said, well, so why was you so, hey, cousin Mook, how you doing? I said, why was you so defensive? Because, in a, you know, and I do know, because when I said it, it took me back to when I used to date, when I was dating, and I myself, I can honestly say, even when dating, I chose my kids. Like I was like, listen, I chose my kids. So I realized, like I said, when a person starts saying stuff, you immediately in your mind you be like, how you do that? But then when you sit back, go right on down memory lane, you'll realize that at some point in time, what she's saying is where I was at. So I went back and I started thinking about the things that happened even as towards me, and I was like, oh my God, it is so possible, because let me tell you something. Grown kids can be just as conniving as the younger children. As little children, grown kids can try to make you pick and choose like a little child would. I mean, they have the same effect, because guess what? They are your children. They are your children, and you do love them. And in your mind, I'm gonna protect them. I'm gonna take care of them. I don't let nothing hurt or harm them. But if you brought that man in your life, then you bring him in your life with the understanding that you did have children that was attached to this. When you brought them in, then you bring them into your life, understanding that it's a possibility. It's a possibility that things may happen. I mean, I'm just saying, that nothing will happen. That he will take care of him. That he will look out for him. That he will, provide for them. That he will guide them and teach them. And he has something to instill in them. Because when you're married, I mean, when you're coming with children, I ain't gonna say a package, because I just don't. A package is stuff that you receive in the mail. But when you're coming into a relationship with children, you got that person that you're coming into that relationship with. You got to have the full understanding and the trust in that person, that they can add to and not take away. Just like you should be able to add to and not take away. So my question to today is, can grown children destroy a marriage? And I talked to one lady. She said she had to put her son out because he was adamant about the things that he was doing that was trying to cause division between her and her husband. She said he was adamant. I said, what you mean? She said, yes, he was adamant about causing issues. And she said, I had to put my own son out. And I'm like, wow. Like wow. So my question tonight is, y'all, I mean, what do y'all think about that? I mean, what do y'all have to say about that? Do you think that's even possible? That situation can happen, and if it does happen, what do you do? How do you separate the two? How do you get your children to understand that listen, it's a level in this. It's a level in this marriage. It's my husband, then you guys. It's a level in this. How do you get the grown kids to understand that I got enough love for everybody, but understand that some of the attention got to come up, got to be taken off you, because there's somebody else that's into my life right now, and this person that I brought in my life, I trust them enough to be able to, like I said, to add to us, to add to our house, to even add to you, to teach you, to help guide you. So what do y'all think about that? Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. If it's some of you guys that have been through that grown go on. If it's some of you guys that have been through that, let me know. Just let us know, because like I said, we all about helping each other. How do you handle that? How do you handle a situation like that? How do you put your child in I'll say check without making them feel some type of way? Or do you even care or do you at that point even care how they feel? Because you know we all know how kids can get, whether they're, like I said, old or young. How do you go about doing this? What do you do about this situation? How do you help with this situation? That's my question to you. How do you protect your marriage and still allow your child to know that I still love you unconditionally, but I'm now, I'm connected to someone else, and I'm loving that person, but it don't take nothing away from you. But you got to understand it's different levels. I'm gonna love him in a different way that I'm gonna love you, because this is my husband, this is my wife, and the things that we do, we don't do as mother and as son, and mother and daughter. But I love you in this way, and I love him in this way, or her in this way. How do you separate? What do you need? I mean, give me some feedback, because like I said, I want to have some answers. She didn't give me a letter, it was just a conversation. She was like, I lost my husband, my soulmate, because I um couldn't put my child in place. I couldn't separate. I was so focused on my child that I lost my husband in the midst. I was so worried about how my child felt that I forgot about worrying about how my husband was feeling. I was so worried about protecting my child that I forgot that I was also the protector of my husband. And I was like, wow. And she said, now, once something like that is broken, once something like that is cut, and it is separated, she said, we can't work it back out. We can't work it out. He's not in a place where he wants to work it out. He said, we worked it. I tried this thing year after year after year, but you didn't let loose. You wouldn't let go. You wouldn't let him grow up. You wouldn't let him be a man. You wanted to run interference, and I couldn't even teach him how, because you was right there. And I refused to go back into the same situation. So how do you do that? Because like I said, I'm a mother with grown kids myself. Hey, Miss MIT Sheena, I'm a mother of grown kids myself. I have two sons and two daughters. So my question is, but see, my thing is this: you got that. We can laugh and joke about some things, but it's some things that you're gonna have to understand that you don't have to make no decision on. See, that's another thing. We got to, how you got to put it, who is the parent? Why are the parents letting the children make decision? Why do the parent let the child make the decision? That doesn't make sense to me. You're the parent, but the child make the decision. That's one problem. That's one problem. Hey Mo, how you doing? That's one problem. The child is making the decision. The child is overruled, the child always complaining. Because, okay, let me give you an example. If there's something that needs to be done in the house, and the child is in the house, who do you ask? Who do you ask? If the trash need to be taken out, who do you ask to take the trash out? And who do you get mad at if the trash is not out? Who do you ask to take the trash out? Hey, Monica, how you doing, sis? Good evening, everybody. We're talking about can a grown child ruin a marriage? And I was explaining to them that I met this young lady, and she told me that she allowed her grown son to destroy her marriage, and her husband don't even want to try to reconcile. He just done with it. It's over. He said he tried it after year. He refusing to go back into that same situation. But my question is, like I asked, if there's trash that need to be taken out in the house, who do you ask? And when you get home, if the trash is not there, if the trash is still there, who do you get mad with? Or who do you direct, say something to? Who do you approach? Who do you approach? Because if you go to your husband and you said, why you ain't got that trash out? And you got a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, especially when that trash can is right there by the step, or at the front of the gate, or behind the house, who do you ask why the trash wasn't out? Who do you ask? I remember I listened to a Apostle Spells the other day, and he was saying that even when he went outside and he cut grass, even when his child wasn't old enough to cut the grass, they still had to come outside to see what work need to be done, what the requirements was, how to see what was like and what was not like, how to see the order of this thing. So even if they're not of age, when do you start training them up? When do you start training them up to take a hold on or take a hand on that responsibility? When do you start training them up? Because you got to understand, you ain't married a child. You married a grown man. You ain't married a little girl. You married a woman. So don't put them in places where the child should be. If you wanted another child, you should have birthed one. But because this person came already out somebody's womb, you can't rebirth them. So why you're trying to dictate? No, you can't dictate. So you got to decide, you know, how far will you let the child go? How far? Absolutely, mom. Washing the dishes. Absolutely. It's responsibilities. It is a responsibility in the house. And if you get into a marriage and you know this man already have grown children, y'all, oh, this woman already got already have grown children. Y'all better get together and get some understanding on how y'all gonna handle handle this situation. Are you gonna be upset if I say something? You know, can I even say something to your child? How would you feel if I chastise them? If I tell them no, will you go back and tell them yes and tell me? Because when you tell them yes, what you telling them is that ain't your daddy. Hey, auntie, how you doing? Good evening. What you're telling them, you may not directly tell them, but what you're indirectly telling them is that ain't your daddy. He don't tell you what to do. You listen to me. Because if he done chastise them and you go back and override what he said, then that's a problem. Even if he's wrong, you and him go together later, go off somewhere and talk about, hey, listen, I got an issue with what you did, what you said. Maybe we could have did it a different way. Let's talk about it. But when you try to correct that man or that woman right there in front of that child, you don't mess around and release something in your household, because now that child is gonna think that I can play this one against this one. I can tell, I know he my daddy, so I don't have to listen to him. I don't have to listen to him because he ain't my dad. I don't got to deal, because if he tell me something, I can always go to my mom. I'm gonna go talk to my mom about what he said, because I don't really got to listen to him. And if I look at her a certain way, if I sound a certain way, she's gonna agree to me. Who do you chastise? Like I said, if there's somebody that has been in this situation, I don't mind bringing you on the live. I don't mind sharing the podcast, because I'm telling you, this is going on. These things are happening. Marriages are struggling because of the simple fact is there's a separation between who's in charge and who's not in charge. It's marriages that are being separated because, okay, this is my child, you can't send it to my child, or you go out and you buy for your child but don't buy for the other child. You treat that child different. Then you say, well, I ain't mean to. How you not mean to when you know that 3 kids in the house and you just came to the house with one item for one child and 3 kids? Yes, you did. You did mean to do it. Because when you went out, when you left out, it was 3 kids. When you came back, it was 3 kids. So why would you not buy for all 3? See, we just trying to help each other out. If it's you, just amen. Out, let's figure this thing out. That's what we got to do. This is what surviving our broken pieces is to help each other. We need to figure this thing out. We need to. If both of the kids are doing the same thing, doing the same thing, they both turn the room up, they both fighting. How do you chastise one and not the other? Because what's gonna happen is that one is gonna be, well, that's because I'm not her child. That's why she's treating me like that. See, you got to understand that your actions will always out trump your mouth, your words, because people look at the things that you do. They look at the things that you do. So be careful. Be really, really careful. When you go out and you buy for one, make sure you buy. Let me tell you something. I remember this, just my auntie. This ain't even when my mom used to take us down to Wakefield, right? And we used to go to my aunt Sophia house, right? I'm gonna tell you something right now. If we had one cookie, my aunt would break that cookie down so each and every one of us had a piece of it. The reason why I'm using that as an example, if you got a marriage and that man has kids and you have kids, you better try to break stuff down so each and every child can have a piece of it, and that's including you. That's including your heart. That's including your sympathy. It gotta be broken down. There's no way that you can treat one better than the other, even though this one did not come out your womb, even though this one was not your seed. You still got to love them the same. And don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. I would not say that you would not out love yours a little different. Yeah, because that is yours, but don't make that other one feel no type of way. No, try your best to make this thing equal. Try your best to make them both feel love. Try your best. Don't intentionally do this. Don't. And do not have your grown child questioning your husband. What, or your wife? Come on, y'all. How you gonna check him? How in the world? How in the world you gonna let your child check your husband? You gonna let your child check your wife? That don't even make sense. It don't even add up. How do you do that? How do you do that and expect this man to have some respect for you? Expect this man to love you like you need to be loved. You ain't even loving him. You letting a child control the house. If he says, look, everybody got to be in the house at 9 o'clock. If he asks you to go come be in at 10, if it was already set in stones at 9, unless you and him came in agreement together, 9 o'clock is what it is. It ain't no 10 o'clock. He don't come to you whining and you fold. No. A house that divided cannot stand. It got to be unified. You got to be on one accord. Yes, some things that you argue about. Yes, some things is not going to be right, but talk about it in a separate room, not in the same room where you at. That don't make sense. It makes no sense. So no, you can't do that. If your child got an opinion about your man, then I'm telling you, your husband, your wife, you listen. Don't. Let me tell you something. Do this what you don't go disrespecting the man that I chose, or the one I chose him, he chose me, I chose her, she chose me. If you got anything that you want to say, you come to me and we're gonna figure, we'll talk about this. But don't override me, don't go before me, don't go behind me. How about that? How about don't challenge me? How about that? It got to be some order. Child or no child. Hey, cuz Shawana, it got to be some order. It has to be ordered. If you're in a household and there's a husband and a wife and a child running the house, oh my God, then what you there for, just to pay the bills and shut your mouth? It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't even understand y'all. And let me tell you something. And I said this to my own kids. If you prepare one meal in the house, you preparing food, you cooking for the house. How do the child determine what they gonna eat and what they ain't gonna eat? How did the child determine I ain't eating that? When did we lose control? Because see, you gotta understand, it's the little things. Just something as small as that. You have released some type of control. I ain't eating. So when you go to, I don't want that. Now you spending extra money. You're going outside your plan because you're now trying to accommodate a child. There's nothing wrong with accommodating, but listen, what's cooked in this house? That's what you eat. It ain't no, I ain't eating that. Don't play. Then guess what, baby? You better get full up off on that H2O. You best to get filled on that H2O. That's the best thing I can tell you. Get filled up on that H2O and go to bed. Because there will not be nothing extra. It won't be. We got to take some of this. We done gave 5-year-old power. We done gave 4-year-old power. They can come in the house and with a nasty attitude, they don't upset the whole house. They telling you what to do. They telling you what to buy, what not to buy, what to cook, what not to cook, what to look at, what not to look. A 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and then and let me tell you something. You're now creating something. Don't start what you can't finish. You're now creating something. You have relinquished your control and gave it to a child. You have relinquished your control and gave it to a child. When I can call you up and tell you, well, I don't want that. Once I put something in stone, that's what it is. Ain't no breaking up. You ain't no sledgehammer. You a child. Stop playing games. No, we don't do that. And if you did it to them as a child, that's how come they come in your household when you got your significant other, and now they're pulling that same weight that they pulled at 5. They're doing that. They're pulling that same weight. They're applying that same pressure at 30, 20, 16, 17, 19. I know the numbers are out in order, but they're applying that same pressure because you gave it to them at 5. You lost control of the house. You lost your control of your household to a 5-year-old. To a 3-year-old. I tell you, no, you spell her out. You out crying all over the place, rolling all over the floor, throwing stuff. You better do something different. It is time, absolute It's time to take the house back. It's time to take some control back. We done lost control of our household. And then you wondering why the child standing in your face at 17 or 16 or maybe sometimes 13 years old talking junk, standing in your face telling you what they ain't gonna do, disrespecting you, snapping off the mouth, breaking up that neck stuff, that neck stuff and that rolling of the eyes stuff. You created that. You lost control of the household. You did it. Ain't nobody to blame. Ain't no street. Ain't no person they hanging with. It was you. Take some ownership. Oh, they just doing that because they hang around that this and that person. No, baby. They doing that because you lost control at the age of 3, 4, 5 years old. You gave them control. That's why they doing it. It ain't got nothing to do with the child next down the street. It ain't got nothing to do with the neighbor. They ain't got nothing to do with them. It got something to do with you relinquishing control to a child. That's why they can stand up to you and talk stuff to you and the person that you're with, because you lost control. That's why. That's why they can challenge you. That's why they can disrespect you, because you lost control a long time ago. You messed around and lost control a long time ago. That's why they stand to face to you like that. Let me tell you something. When the man is trying to raise the trying to raise the sons and the daughters, allow him to, especially if he's doing it in the righteous way, in a godly way. Let him do it. The chastisement won't kill him. No, won't kill him. No, won't kill them. You know what I told my kids this year? This year, why are y'all spending all this money on these? Because I had to learn this, and they're only doing it because of what they seen. You understand what I'm saying? What we instill, and I told them I've learned a lot, so I'm giving it to y'all. Don't spend a lot of money on these children for Christmas. Who are you trying to impress? Because it's sure not them. You're trying to impress other people. You're trying to see who gonna post the most stuff on Facebook. People posting all the stuff they done brought their children all on Facebook, and now you challenging. You feeling some type of way. Well, I ain't buy that. Well, I couldn't do this. Well, I ain't do that. That's crazy. That's crazy. You got to live after the 25th. Y'all bananas. You got to live after the 25th. What you gonna do when that light bill come in January? That mortgage due, that rent due, that truck car payment due. What you gonna do in January when you lost all your money in December trying to please you because it won't please the kids? Cause you go all out. You go all out, and then Lord have mercy, you go all out, and you don't even have $5 in a savings account. You don't even got $2 in your savings account, checking account. You can't even buy yourself a soda. And if it wasn't for EBT, you'd be tore up and lost because you couldn't even go in the store and purchase nothing. And don't come at me about that, because I ain't talking about no EBT. Because listen, I love it myself. If I, look, I mean, I ain't going. If it helps, it helps. But what I'm saying is, this is the thing. You don't spend all your money on trying to, like the old folks say, keep up with the Jones. You don't spend all your money trying to impress somebody, and then you ain't even got enough money to buy you a drink, a 99, a 50-cent pop, like the old folks used to say. You ain't got enough money to do nothing because you don't max out credit cards, borrowed money from God knows who, then overdraft your account for what? Why? Because that child came to your face. I want this for Christmas. I want this. I want this. Because they done set to your face and told you that, came to you and told you that, and because you mean, well, I ain't gonna do. I don't want to not make her feel no type of way, or make him feel no type of way. I don't want to make them think no. Listen, first of all, let me tell you something. This is what I can afford to buy for you. I buy stuff for you all year round. I take care of you all year round. I'm going to take care of you after December. But what you're not going to do is sit here and you can write down your Christmas list, and whatever I can get off, I'll get it. But all the rest of it is just what it is. If I tell you that I can't buy that for you now, and you start running around this house and pouting it, I'm like, you get nothing. Break them. You get nothing. You gotta. If I tell you that at this particular time, financially, I ain't even got to go into those in detail, but I can't buy this for you right now. We'll get it later on. They better have enough understanding to understand, okay, later on. But if you let that child make you go out and spend money or spend your bill money that you don't have, then you don't let them take control of the house. No, I'm gonna give you this and be thankful. I'm gonna give you this and be thankful. I'm gonna give you this and be thankful. I'm gonna make sure you got a hot meal. We're gonna show each other love on this day. We're gonna talk about the goodness of God. We're gonna talk about the goodness of Jesus. We're gonna do family stuff on this day. Not that you don't do it on every day, but it's not about me spending every dime I got to please you. No, we're losing control, y'all. And this is why these grown kids can stand in your face as you an adult, like they don't forget that you done birthed them, or you don't have was a partaker of giving of their birth. They forget all about that because we lose control, and they stand face to face to you, stand face to face to you, and tell you what they ain't gonna do. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna do this. Come on, y'all. We got to get some control back in these houses. We got to get some control back in our house. We have to. And if you're married and you're married to somebody with kids, y'all need to have a conversation. Y'all need to figure some things out. Because if you don't, it's definitely gonna bring some problems in the marriage. You need to figure some. You got to have these type of conversations. Listen, you're gonna have an issue if I chastise your child. If you're gonna have an issue if I say something, we need to understand. How you want this thing done? Do I have to come to you before I say something to him or her? What need to be done? We need to have a plan. We need to have some type of strategy in this because we know kids are smart, and the older they get, they know. I got a grown son, right? My son is grown, and in his mind, he think he tell me what to do. So I have to tell him. I know that it's because you love me. I know that it's because you don't want nobody to hurt me or nothing to happen to me. I know that, and I love that, and I understand that. But you gotta still understand your place. You don't make no decisions. Let's get that straight. Facts. I love you. I thank you for caring, but you can't make no final decision. You make no decision. Okay? Let's get an understanding in that. And sometimes we don't. We have grown people fighting, husband and wife fighting because of the fact of what the child sees. Or how that person think you treating their child. So there's a fussing, arguing, fighting that's taking place that should not be. It should not be that way. But because there's no communication, we did not think this out. We did not talk this out. Now the child has control. Now the child has control. Mm-mm. No. And it starts back with just something as simple as, I ain't eating that. I don't want that. And then you go out your way to prepare a whole nother meal or go order something instead of saying, sit down and eat. And that's it. You sit down and we're eating dinner. That's it. It ain't open for discussion. There's no conversation about it. Unless you got an allergy to what's in front of you, you need to be eating it. You need to be eating it. Unless we don't sit back and we don't talk, well, babe, what you want to eat? What y'all like to eat for dinner? And we had a family discussion like that, and you told me what you wanted, then that's something different. But if I've already prepared and I placed it before you, your best bet is to eat. Or you just get a nice glass of H2O and go to bed. But there will not be no you taking control of the house. No, because if I give it to you now, what in the world am I expecting later? What do you expect later? You can't do this. You can't do it. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. You can't blame anyone but yourself. That's it. You are the blame because you gave a child control. And we have to take it's time to take back. If you got a little child, you're raising that child, raise that child up with the understanding that you are the mother and you are the father. You're gonna make decisions. You may not be the best decision, but it's for the decisions of that for that moment. It's no manual in raising kids. We do the very best that we can. We make sure that we provide. We make sure we provide a place to stay, food to eat. That's what we do. We make sure that we provide. We make sure that we teach them. We make sure that we teach them. But we just don't give them. I had to learn the hard way. I'm here telling you this because I had to learn the hard way. You know, it was so important of just giving them what they wanted, just giving them what they wanted, just making sure they got, making sure they had, making sure it ain't no lack, making sure, and all that did was created a monster that wanted more and more and more and more. And what happened when when it's a point where you can't give no more? Then what happened? And then it was unnecessary money that was not that was wasted because it could have been in a savings account. It could have went towards buying a house, buying a car, preparing for a future, getting a business started. That money could go in so many different places for so many different reasons, but we're spending unnecessary. We're making the rich richer. We're making, I told my daughter, I tell my kid, my daughter and my sons, my daughters, you buy iPads, iPhones, you buy iPads, Apple Watches, iPhones, AirPods. You buy all this stuff for a child. For a child. There's nothing wrong with giving them gifts, but make sure if you buy gifts like that, make sure you got some type of money in the bank, some type of bank account, some type of savings. You're gonna mess around and buy a child $300 to $500 air Apple pad. No, Lord Jesus, a pad. Lord have mercy, y'all. Oh my God, try to get it stuttering. You can mess around and buy somebody, a tablet or an iPad, and you don't even have no money in the bank. You have no savings account. You don't even have a nickel to your name. You don't spend that money, you ain't got nothing. You buy these kids these iPhones 12s and 13s, and you know what I'm saying? And you don't even have a dime in your pocket. You ain't even got no fallback money. If you need tires on your car, what you gonna do? Ask you to take it back because you need that money to get tires on your car. If you need an oil change, you can't even provide the basic what you need to go out and make the money. You don't even have gas money. You gotta borrow money from people to get gas. But you don't went out here and spent all that money to make sure that you're keeping up with the Jones and making sure you pleasing the child. You can just simply say, I just don't have it right now. I'll get it later. You don't want to do that. You don't want to teach them that is more than just trying to keep up with the Jones. It's a thing called savings. I'm gonna teach you how to build. For you don't it's not you don't have it now, but we need to build for later. We need to prepare for later. We need to have some money somewhere else that fallback money. You ain't got no fallback money. You got nothing. But you go in that child's room and you done brought all this stuff. You done brought all this stuff. Let's be honest. You done spent all this money, and you don't even have a savings account. You don't even have a savings account, and you don't spend all that money. Why? Why? You buy all these toys, and these kids don't even barely play with them. Put that money into an account. I told my own kids. I said, listen, get each one of these kids some type of Cash App card or something. Because from now on, their birthday money is going on the Cash App card. Their Christmas money is going on the Cash App card. I want them to get them a bank account so that we can put it in the bank account so that they won't be able to touch it until they get a certain age. Like 18, 20, something like that. And we just put, instead of I'm going out and buying this and make, putting this money out there back out. No, I'm gonna put this money in investment. I'm gonna invest this money in my granddaughter. I'm gonna invest this money in my grandson because I'm not gonna go out there and buy all this materialistic stuff, but I'm gonna put it into a bank account. I'm gonna put it into a savings account. I'm gonna put it on a cash app card or something. But when they if something come and they need something, and the money be right there on that reserve will be right there, and they can go to the reserve. But we don't think like that. We want to keep up with the job. We want to spend this, and we want to showboat and show this, and we ain't even got enough gas to drive from the front yard to the backyard. Ain't enough gas in the car. You can't even turn your car on in the morning time to warm it up because you on fumes. But yet and still, you don't spend all this unnecessary money. I'm on some real stuff tonight. Not just the money on the kids, even on ourselves. Even on ourselves. You walking around here with a $300-400 wig on, and you don't even have no money to even pay your light bill. You don't even have no food in the refrigerator. But you look good. You look good, and you behind in your bills because you chose to buy a $400 wig, and here you got a car note that need to be paid. Here you got lights got to be paid, rent, mortgage. But you so caught up on wanting to look apart, to look a certain way, that you're willing that you're willing to just give it all up. It makes no sense, y'all. I'm serious. It makes no sense. It's time for us to now start preparing. It's time for us to start saving. We all should have a reserve. There's no reason why we don't, all that money that was released on 2021 and 2022, and there should be a reserve. We should have some money on reserve. We don't. All these unnecessary vacations that we was taking just because everybody else was going, and now you on drought. It makes no sense. We have to have a changed mindset on everything. You want to live life and life abundantly, but how can you live in a life of abundancy if you don't even make the right decision? It ain't that the finance won't dare. You mishandle them. You misuse them. It ain't no reason why you can't have. You making bad and poor decisions. It don't make sense. I was talking to a young lady at work. She said, I need somebody, and that's why I love honesty. I love truth. I need somebody to teach me about how to manage my money. Because I'm sitting here saying to myself, I'm making $30 an hour, right? Times 8, right? That's $240, 8 hours. If you work 16 hours, that's $480, correct? Correct? Per day. Per day, right? So if you work 5 days, that's $1,200, correct? I mean, do some math with me, y'all. Do some math with me. And if you're making $1,200 times 4, come on now, that's $4,800 a month. And your bill's only adding $2,000. Tell me what the other $2,800 went to. We gonna survive. We ain't gonna live in poverty. We ain't gonna live in lack. You asking God, your poverty ain't my portion. God bless me with this. God gave it to you. You mishandling it. You just doing crazy. You doing crazy. Girl, I just went out to, let me tell you something. As much as I love seafood, and I'm gonna be honest, I heard a lot of people say, well, I just dropped $100 at Bar Bay. Why? Why? If you go there twice a week, that's $200 plus the gas. So that's $220 you done already spent off that $1,200, right? Let's do some math. That's $250 you done already spent off that $220 because I'm just putting $20 in gas. Off that $1,200 unnecessarily, right? And you already got groceries in the house. Not saying that you can't treat yourself, but know when to treat yourself. Put a limit on how much you're willing to spend to treat yourself. Because it's all about savings. It's all about savings. I'm telling you, the gates, the gates of abundance is open. It is open heaven. Let me tell you, some people are paying people uh, um money that they never have in history have been made. You understand what I'm saying? Even thought about paying. You got CNAs getting paid 25, 30, $40 an hour. You got nurses getting paid $45, $50 an hour through agencies. You got fast food restaurants paying $15 an hour. This was not in the cards 2 years ago. You hear what I'm telling you? So open heaven is here. Money, it is. It's just like it's raining down. But it's what you're doing with it. I know. I don't even know how I got here. I don't shifted this thing. But it's like you're mishandling it, that blessing. And then you say, God, I need this. And how can it not be enough? How in the world can you tell me you can $4,800, $2,400? Because I like to tell you, I'm a person with numbers. It's not enough money. And just a year ago, you was living off $500, $600. But now you got more and you're making poor decisions. It don't add up. It's not that God ain't getting that. It ain't that God ain't doing what God's supposed to do. It's that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're mishandling it. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're trying to live like the Joseph. You ain't even prepared. Man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. And like I said, we all about helping. You sitting in a yard. You got in a yard and a car, $50,000 car, $40,000 car. And you renting somebody apartment. What sense does that make? Why did you do it in that order? Why? Why didn't you get a place to? Lord Hammer, I feel like I listened to Apostle Spells the other day, and certain things just keep going into my memory. But why don't you have the garage that the car go in? Why don't you prepare for the car? Get the house with the garage where the car can go into. Why don't you prepare? Why don't you get the house? Why do you think? Okay, like I said, let's mess with some numbers. Let's mess with some numbers. Let's deal with your rent, right? You paying somebody $1,000 a month rent, right? In 5 months, that's $5,000, right? In 10 months, that's $10,000. Correct? Correct? And in 12 months, that's $12,000 that you just dropped somebody else for rent. 12. So you mean to tell me you can pay $12,000 a month for rent? You can pay somebody $1,000 for rent, but you can't pay $1,000 towards a mortgage, or $500 towards a mortgage, or $800 towards a mortgage. You mean to tell me that you can go out and spend $100 out eating and all this other crazy stuff, and you can't pay to go to somebody and say, what do I need to be able to purchase land or purchase me a home? Tell me what I need. What do I need to be fixing on my credit? What get because I got to understand. Because first, I need, in order to solve a problem, you got to know about the problem. So I'm going into a realtor. What do I need? Do I qualify for this? Do I qualify for that? So what do I need? So okay, so now they're telling me that I need to pay this off and pay that off. Okay, so right now I know that they're saying I got a payoff like $3,000 worth of bills. So I know I got to suck up and pay that $1,000 a month for rent for this place right here, because I also got to pay this $3,000 off, because I got to now get myself in alignment for purchasing a home. So I'm gonna pay this $3,000 off, and then I'll get myself in the place where I can position that I can get me a house. So this money that I'm dropping every month, that I'll be owning it. I won't be renting it. It'll be mine. It'll be something I'm leaving to my children, my family. I don't have to, I can't leave an apartment. I can't leave them an apartment. That belongs to somebody else. Stop playing. I can't leave them somebody else's house that I'm renting. That's somebody else's stuff. You're willing to give your money to somebody else, but you're not willing to put that same money on you. You ain't willing to put that same money on your livelihood, on yourself. No. So what we need to do, we got to go back to the drawing board, and we got to figure out how much money I'm making a month, how much my bills are. This is the money that I have left over. The money that I have left over, this is the amount I want to put in a savings that do not touch fund, that you do not touch under no circumstances. You do not touch that money under no circumstance. and you keep that money rolling. You keep that bill in that money. You keep it. Just keep it moving. If you know that you're gonna need $5,000 for a closing cost, $3,000 for a closing cost. Okay, this is my closing cost money. I ain't even gonna bother with that. Okay, I know I need $2,000 for closing costs. Okay, so I'm gonna put the closing cost money. I'm gonna have that aside, but then I'm gonna have another account on the side because I know once I get the house, I'm gonna need some stuff that's in the house. So I wanna have at least estimate maybe $5,000 for the start off with buying stuff at my house, maybe 2,000. I mean, whatever you want to put in your mind, put in your head. Then I'm gonna have that money set aside. So I'm pouring into the money for my closing costs, but I'm also putting into the money. I mean, into the account for the money for the purchase of stuff that I need for my house. See, we got that's what we got to be at. I know I know I'm a sacrifice. I ain't gonna be able to do this. You know what? When I was going to nursing school, I met this young lady, and she told me, she said, me and my husband are about to buy our dream home. She told me how much money the house was. I can't remember now because it's been a couple of years ago. She told me how much money the house was, how much money she had to put down on the house. She said, you know what? We did an estimate that we probably be eating a lot of tuna fish, noodles, mashed, stuff like that for about a year. I said, and in my mind, because back then you ain't thinking right. You don't got the right mindset. I said, you mean to tell me this chick we wouldn't eat tuna fish for a whole year? Stop playing with me for a house. I wouldn't be doing that. But that was the level of thinking, that place of where I was at. Now maturity should hit. Now you're mature. Now some things that I wanted. I know that this is what I want to do next year. I'm a plan. I want to go on a vacation next year, but I don't want to spend no more than this amount of money. And if you got a significant other, honey, what do we is it in the budget for us to go on a vacation next year? If so, how much what's money that's set aside for us to be able to spend on vacation? Because now I got to locate the vacation that we can take within that budget. Within that budget. And if do we got an elite, any room that we can go over just a little bit, or maybe I'm gonna try to find something, do it early so I can get a better price on it. This is how we have to shift. You talking about shifting the mindset. You talking about wanting to live in a life of abundance, but we got to stop living a life of recklessness. We got to stop living a life of spending unnecessarily. That's what we got to. I almost got caught up tonight. Let me tell y'all something. Like I said, I'm truthful to the game. I almost got caught up tonight. I went to the store tonight, right? And I went to Big Lots. I went to Big Lots looking for one thing, right? And I just strolled myself on around the store, just walking on around the store, right? So I walked over there and I said, "Oh my God, this is so pretty." Christmas tree skirt, and it was the skirting, and it was the bow, and it was so beautiful. And I was like, "Oh my God, I said, oh," and I started thinking to myself, I said, "Hold up, chick." I said, "What are you gonna do with that? Where you gonna put it at? Because right now you already got 2 Christmas trees up in your house. Where are you gonna put that at? And why would you buy it? I mean, where you gonna put it up at? Because it's a Christmas tree in the family room. It's a Christmas tree in the sitting room. So where would the other Christmas tree be in it other than the lounge room outside of your bedroom? Why would you put a Christmas tree back there with nothing nobody can see? Why are you playing games? I mean, even though it's clearance, even though it says 50% off, 20% off, 15% off, even if you do sell, you save $20, but you don't spend 40 for what? What was the purpose of that? You didn't need it. And I started talking to this young lady, and me and her started talking. I said, you know what? Let me put this stuff back. Let me put this back. And it ain't that I don't have the $40 to buy it. Don't that ain't it. But why waste that $40 on something that I don't need? Taking from, not adding to, unnecessarily. I said, oh Lord, thank you, Lord. Because I know I gotta have gas next week. I could put that $40 in my truck. I know my client got to go back and forth to work. I could put that money into the van, and my business. So, it's time to start thinking. It's time to start thinking. It's time to be on go. It's time to stop settling. It's time to stop saying, God, why you ain't doing this? God, no, God saying, why you ain't doing it? I've given you the tools. I release stuff to you. Where you at? Why you can't do it? It don't make sense. It don't. Stop spending that unnecessary money. Why? And then you gonna need it. And then here you gonna need it later on. It don't no. And ain't nothing wrong with because I'll tell anybody, I repay myself. I work hard. I work hard and I play hard. And what I mean by that is I pay myself. But I don't pay myself like buying a whole bunch of stuff. What I do is I'll make sure I get my hair fixed, my nails fixed, my toes, my eyelash, my eyebrow. I pay myself back for a whole week, 2, 3 weeks of working because I put in the work. I put in the work. It ain't that I'm okay. Say for instance, I want to spend. Let's go out there, $80 to $100 on my nails and on my nails and my just on my nails. Let's be honest. Oh, and it's not because I've only made I only have $500 that week, and I'm gonna take $80 off that $500 to get my nails done. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you take off the net that leaves 420 and you know you got a light bill that got to be paid and that's $300 off that and then that's $120 left that you got to try to figure out on how you and your family gonna live when you could have kept that 80 and it would have been $200. Ain't a whole lot to the. It ain't but math. It ain't but math. It's just math. We want to have, but we don't want to sacrifice some things. We don't want to give up some things, but we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to, and we're gonna have to sit down and budget. Some of us ain't even budgeting. We ain't doing no budget. We got a checking account and that ain't got nothing written down. We just savings account, just slide, just swiping. That's how you get that overdraft fee. You don't even remember what you just swiped. You don't even remember. You didn't write nothing down, but you swiping, and next thing you know, why in the world will you have to give a bank $30, $20, $25, $10, whatever you got to get them because you couldn't count your money? I see if you was you okay. Don't get it twisted. I see if you had a bill and you didn't have the money at the time, and you said, "Well, I got to overdraft and get this money, pay this bill." Don't get it twisted. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. But I ain't gonna overdraft my account to go gamble, to drink, to give people money. I'm not overdrafting my account for that craziness. I'm not gonna overdraft my account because my girlfriend's going out and I want to go and I don't got the money, but I'm gonna overdraft my account. I ain't doing that. I'm not overdrafting my account because my child is sitting here all pouting because they want what somebody else got. We ain't doing that either. I'm not gonna put that. I'm gonna overdraft the account. Now I got to pay the money back. That overdraft, that money back plus the overdraft fee. I gotta pay an overdraft fee. Now I'm still taking away from the money that I made that week. I know there's a difference surviving our broken piece, but we still got to survive. We still got to live. We have to. So we got to get an understanding on how to maintain our finance. The money is, we are making the money, but how do we handle it? How are we able to keep it and don't waste it? How in the world that I'm making this amount of money and I look back and I know if according to the numbers, I should have this amount of money left over, but it's not there. It's like it's invisible. I mean, like it just disappeared. Like it just ran out my pockets. That's mishandling. You don't even know what you spent. You don't even understand. We're gonna have to get a hold of it, y'all. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to get a hold on our finance, how we spend money. We're gonna have to. We have to get a whole set up, get a change of a mindset. It's nothing wrong with renting, but by all means, try to purchase. Try. You don't know until you go out. Go and find out what it takes for you to be a homeowner. Listen, tell me what I need to do. Because I refuse to be 80 years old renting a house that I got to get off. Somebody come in and say, well, I decide I'm going to sell my house today. You got to go. You got the GO, baby. No. Never let nobody have that much control over you and your situation or your circumstance. No. So go and find out what I need to get here. What I need. That's what you need to do. Find out. Put money aside. Let me tell y'all something. And that's another thing, I'm doing myself. You know, if you know you want to buy a car next year, put some money to aside to go towards buying that car. You'll be surprised. You may even have enough money to pay for that car cash. Because if you offer them cash money, they'll take it. They'll take the cash money. So be smart about it. Then you got people that goes to those car dealership auctions. They can go get. But listen, I got $7,000. I don't want to have no car payment. Take this seven. I'm gonna go. Can you? How much would you charge me to go with you to this auction so I can get this car? I want to get a car. I don't pay. This is where I'm at with it. Instead of going to the car lot, they don't pay $7,000 for the car, and they charging you $14,000 for it. They don't double their money. They're charging you $14,000, and they only pay $7,000. So if you know you're looking to buy something next year, start saving up. Start saving towards paying. You're going there with cash money. And I know that it ain't that easy. Yes, it is. Cut back on some of the stuff that you're spending that's unnecessary. Cut back. Let me tell you. Anybody that knows me know I love pocketbooks, shoes, clothes. That's my listen. And it's some. Let me take a commercial break. Okay, for those of y'all who, a lot of people inquiring, am I still selling bags and stuff like that? As of right now, I'm not. But let me tell you something. Sister Barbara has Kingdom Purse. I shared on my page. Go on my page. She got the bag. She got the necklace. She got the perfume. She got the cologne. Listen, y'all, go and look at her live and get what you need. I will not be selling bags, shoes, clothes. Not right now. Not as of right now. I do still got some stuff that I'm gonna go ahead on some clothes. I don't have any bags and shoes, but I still have some clothes that I'll go ahead on and sell. But after that, it'll be it for a while because I'm focusing on so much other things and I can't do that as of now. So for those who asking me or have asked, will I have this or will I get this? I'm gonna tell you publicly, say no. So I'm gonna send you somewhere else. And that's Kingdom Purse. I think it's Kingdom Purse. Sister Barbara has it. Um, Barbara Taylor. If you go on my page, you'll find her. As a matter of fact, she's on tonight. So once you get off the live, you can go visit her. I'm gonna share her on my page no sooner I get off the live. So go and check her out. Check them out. Her husband Elder Taylor. He has suits and stuff. I think it's Kingdom Men Suits. He has two different stores, two different locations. So y'all, if y'all look into what I'm saying, to look the part, look kingdom, not just kingdom, but look good, look good. Let me say look good. And those of you who like nice purses and stuff like that, visit her live, and she has layaway. My goodness, she have layaway. I seen her bag. I said, oh my God. But I'm trying to teach myself discipline. Like I said, you teaching yourself. We all learning how to do this stuff, and we're learning together. So visit them if if you want to get. I put that out there. Uh, we also have who else I said I wanted to do a shout out to. Oh, yeah, the young lady at my job. She was asking me about hair. And I called Minister Chanel, and it's called TotalBeautyCollection.com. TotalBeautyCollection.com. So those that have asked me about hair, that's who has the wigs. That's who I think she got wigs, and I think she has I don't know all the other names for that stuff, but she has it. Visit her website. Visit her website. Um, so let's go back to what I was saying. Um, we're gonna have to learn how to not be so wasteful, so wasteful. Oh, and I forgot. Listen, y'all, I brought a hat. Um, oh my God, I don't know if Erica on the live or will she get on the live, but I brought a hat from her. That thing is tight but right, and I don't know the name of her business offhand. So if somebody that's on, do please put her business name on, put it up here because she got some nice. If you a hat person, she has some nice hats. I'm gonna get these names written down so when I do my commercial break, I can do it properly and correctly. But make sure you go out and if you want to seek these things. Like I said, I don't do bags and stuff anymore, not as of this point right now because I got a lot of other stuff going on. But visit Kingdom Purse. Sister Barbara Taylor has that. Please, by all means, visit that. Visit that. And they do have men clothing as well. Perfume, cologne, sweaters, jackets, shoes, boots. They have that. She even have boots as well. So y'all visit her visit her live, please. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for being part of Surviving Our Broken Peace. I know we kind of went off topic a little bit, but I don't know. It just took me there. We need to start teaching. It's time to start teaching each other on how to um, come out of poverty, come out of lack, and be in a comfortable in a good place where we can be okay and ain't got to worry about, like the old folks say, rob Peter from Paul, or whatever, however that little saying supposed to be. But we got to make sure that we don't have to live like that. There's no way that we should be living like that. So it's all it takes is a mindset and willing to get up. A lot of people say, oh, well, I'm waiting on God. You waiting on God. What is he gonna multiply? What he gonna multiply? Because zero from zero is zero. Zero plus zero is zero. Zero times zero is zero. Zero divided by zero is zero. So you can't say you waiting on God and you ain't got nothing to multiply. That don't add up. It don't make sense. So give them something to multiply. Give them something that you can multiply. So again, thank you guys for being some part of Surviving Our Broken Pieces. Listen, before I go off this live tonight, I want to thank everybody who have got in contact with my family. Everybody who sent in love and stuff, and sit in their concerns and call and stuff. I lost my auntie, and a lot of people, have got in contact with myself, my cousins, my family in PA, my family in Virginia. Y'all know I love you. I love you. I love you. It's a we know that just as sure as there is life, there is death. And sometimes we don't understand death, but we know it has to take place. It's necessary. We ain't gonna live forever. We're gonna eventually die. We're gonna death is gonna eventually hit us. Uh, and it's not easy. I mean, let me say that it's not easy. My family has taken a lot of hits with death, a lot of hits, a lot of hits. But to God be the glory. It's still to God be the glory. Um, and I thank you all for reaching out. I thank you so much. I really do. Um, because like I said, prayers are necessary. Prayers are necessary. Prayers are necessary because they're needed for others. It's needed for the help with others, and their headspace, because you can. Let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. It has been so many hits, so many things had transpired, right? And this is why I say prayer is necessary and needed. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example, and I believe in I will be my. I don't want to use nobody else because I want to offend nobody else, but I can offend me because I'm okay with that. So I took a lot of things was coming, a lot of things were coming, a lot of things were coming, a lot of things was coming, and it was beginning to be so overwhelming. And sometimes you gotta have enough sense to sit yourself down. Sometimes you gotta have enough sense to go in a quiet place yourself. because you don't want to you don't want to bleed on other people, and you don't want to self-destruct. You don't want to bleed on other people, and you don't want to self-destruct. So sometimes it takes you have to go into a quiet place, right? And this is why prayer is necessary. So a lot of things was coming, and I could see I could see myself fighting. I could, and oh, but you ain't gonna take me out. I'm you know, I'm a bend. I'm a bend, but I won't break. And I was standing firm on this. But then sometimes it's just that one thing that will just knock you so far back. And anybody that knows me knows that I love my children, my grandchildren. I love them, right? So I had a situation uh, that came with that hit with my family, right? And the situation it was massive. And in one ear, I could hear God make a way, God make a way, God, no, God's gonna make a way, God's gonna make a way, God's gonna make a way. In the other ear, I heard, oh, you can get this man, you can get this thing taken care of. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly who to contact, and you can handle this your own way. So I got two different things going, right? Two different things going. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I believe in truth and I believe in honesty because and it don't question who I am in God. It don't question my relationship with God, but it tells you that I'm human. Even in my gifts, I'm human. Even in my anointing, I'm human. So I had these two things, right? Right? Like just like this. And I'm battling. And I had to go into a quiet place. Just be quiet, be still. And in the midst of being still, something said, you pray for everybody else and God deliver them. God show up and show out. Is he not the same God that if you just pray to him and decree and declare some things and put some things in the atmosphere, that same God will show out? And it was just simple as that. And it was just that simple. But because of the pressure and because of my when I tell you my children and my grandchildren, I love them unconditional. I love them, right? And when you come for them, when you come to upset or you know, bring something, some type of crazy into that circle, um, you're calling. You're calling a person that's in me that I thought died. So that person has started beginning to rise back up, begin to live again, right? And I felt her. I felt her coming back up. And I said, Lord, I thought that person had died. I thought that person, but that person had been suppressed because it was prayer. It was people, you know, it was so, but because of so much stuff was going on and so much stuff was hidden, so much stuff was hidden. And then I was still trying to pour out, still trying to help. And I needed something myself. I needed pouring into, I needed somebody to help pour me out this slump. But because I was in a place and it was a secluded place with just me trying to not to show the people, because people waiting. See, let me tell you something about this thing. People are waiting to see you fail. People are waiting to see you mess up. So they can say, I thought you was. You said you are. Oh, but you proclaim it. Oh, you confess it. So they're waiting. So there's people waiting to see you fall, to see you crumble. So I said, God, I said, oh my God, they trying to unleash something back out of me that I thought was buried. And I realized that it wasn't buried. It was right there. But at any time, let me tell you, when that hit came for my grandchild, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Oh my God! Like I said, I'm honest. I'm true to this thing. It was a battle. Like it was here. It was here. And I had to sit down. I had to sit me down, shut me down, and let God be God. And let God be God. That same God that I knew was going to protect me, that's going to protect his name that dwells within me. That same God that was going to protect the spirit that dwells within me, that anointing that's on my life. He's not going to let me, he's not going, let me tell you something. He chastised the one he loved. So if he chastised you, he daggone sure gonna protect you. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Because I almost And not only could I hurt me, but it could have did some damage to my family, to my children, because then they would have they see me from who I was, and they see me to for where I am now. So they see the change. But all it takes is one thing. You could do one thing. And when you mess up that one thing, that's what they gonna see. They ain't gonna see nothing else that you ever done. But they gonna see that one thing. And the enemy had me so twisted up in a sense. It was just like, and then some said, same God. Same God. Because you gotta understand, when I hear my daughter crying and she's going through, or my son, it takes you to a different place. It's a different place. And I'm saying, God, oh my God, what in the world? But let me tell y'all, let me tell you something, how good God is. So I heard that voice, and I called my daughter up, and I said, listen, we gonna trust God. We gonna trust God. And I'm gonna put a date on this thing. And it's gonna happen. I said, it's gonna happen Tuesday. The return gonna take place Tuesday. Let me tell y'all something. The return took place Tuesday. All God needed was me to connect my faith and my belief in him, and he was going to show up and show out. He was going to show the enemy that he knew what was inside of me, even when I didn't. All he needed me to do was just trust him. And don't get it twisted. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with who I am in God, my anointing, my gift. But it's that human, that flesh part. When the flesh try to override the spirit. And you can't call on nobody because everybody's so judgmental. And you can't express where you at because everybody feeling some type of way. Oh, you a leader and you should handle it this way. No, because you don't know how that thing gonna affect you till it hits you. See, I can tell you that you should do this and you should do that. I don't know how that thing's gonna affect me until it hit me. And once it hit me, and then I say, oh my God, that I see why she did that. I see why she acted that way. Because now I know what it feels like. For me. I know what the pain feels for me. So sometimes everybody gotta set you down. You gotta set yourself down just to get in a quiet place to hear God. Because you got people out there that's trying to sabotage you. That's trying to destroy your name. That's trying to destroy the name. Because see, when you get in God, there is a name change. God changes you. And when God changes you, man can't understand. Man don't understand it. And some man don't want it. And some people don't want to see you grow in God. Some people don't want to see you change. They want to see you in a bad place, in a bad space, so they can say, I told you. Oh, they look at you a certain way. Oh, they looking at you like you up here. But I'm so glad that happened. Now they know that, no. See, just as sure as you got people praying for you, they praying against you. And all at the same time. Praying for you and praying against you all at the same time. But God. That's why prayer is so important, because let me tell you something. God got secret servants, secret agents, CIAs. I'm telling you, that's praying for you that you don't even know about. And will call you and tell you, girl, you was on my mind, you was on my heart, and I've been praying for you. I've been praying for you, not even realizing that you was going down in sinking sand. And because they prayed, because you was on their heart, because they didn't set it aside and say, well, I'll do it later, or she'll be all right. Because they went into prayer, intercessory prayer. I'm talking about praying prayer. That's praying with a result, looking for a result. Not no little bitty prayer. Or okay, well, whatever. God just bring her through. She'll be all right. I'm talking about serious intercessory prayer. That's gonna pray some things down. That's gonna bind some things up. That's gonna lose some things. That's how I made it. Through prayer. Then to get the phone call and say, I had you on my mind. God showed me you. God showed me you, and I had to pray for you. See, because if it was not for that prayer, that's why they said the prayer of the righteous. If it was not for that prayer, I'm telling you right now, and I'm truthful, I'm honest. That situation almost took me out. Because in my mind, I kept saying, how dare these niggas come at me like that? How dare they? God dare they disrespect me and disrespect my family? Do they know who they playing with? Don't let this smile fool you. See, that's why my mind went back to the streets. My mind went back to Thug Miss. I went back there. But somebody prayed, took the time. That's why prayer is so important. You want to know what's important in my life? My children? Yes, they are. My grandchildren? Yes, they are. But prayer, let me tell you something. Prayer means so much to me. Because I know when God got me in prayer, I know God got me praying for somebody. Somebody gonna come out because I'm praying. Because I expect them to come out. I expect that God's gonna give me the words to say. I expect that because I got a connection with God in the spirit realm, it's gonna change some things. I know He called me to be an intercessor. So when God called me to be an intercessor, I know an intercessor can flip some things, can change some things. So I already know who I am in God when it comes to prayer. Let me tell you something. But sometimes we all need it. We all need it. And when God had you on my mind, I knew you was into something. I knew something was going on. Let me tell you something. Them secret servants that God has in your life, that's praying for you that you don't even know about, that's how you making it over. That's how you making it across. Not those ones that saying they're holding you and saying, I'm praying for you. That's half of it is fake. Over 50% of it's fake. They ain't praying for you for real. They don't even understand why God chose you. They don't even understand why you got the gifts that you got. They don't even understand that stuff, so they ain't praying for you. Let's be real. I told you I keep this thing on 100. That's why I'm not for everybody, and everybody is not for me, and I'm good with that. Because I'm not going to flip. I'm not going to compromise. I ain't doing that. Do I make mistakes? Yup. Do I mess up? Yup. But I got enough sense to go to God. I ain't got to go to man. I go to God. And I asked him, I love Apostle Paul. I send to no man but God. That's it. I owe no man no explanation. How in the world can I got to explain something to you about what I've done and you do moving and seeing yourself? Stop playing games. Let me tell you something. How we going to make it over? We going to love each other and we going to pray. That's how we going to make it. We going to love each other and we going to pray. That's what we going to do. We ain't going to talk no ill. 2023 ain't no sense in going in there making no ill will, feeling no type of way about people. People is people. We ain't out for the person. We out for the soul. We ain't wrestling. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. I ain't worried about your flesh. That stuff going back to the dirt. It's going to go back to the dirt. Your flesh going back to the dirt. Where your soul going? That's the question. When your flesh go back to the dirt, where your soul going? So I ain't mad at no flesh. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me tell y'all something. I thank God for the secret servant. Because I was so close. I was so close. I was so close. And that's truth. That's on 100. I was so close. But God. And I thank God. I thank God for the secret servant. That he got me back on track. Then I started thinking about what if you would have made that decision, how many people would have been stuck because they was connected to you? How many people that watch you on the live that watch you and know your change? How would that have affected them? How would that have looked to them? And God has trusted you with them. So yes, the hits gonna come. Yes, you're gonna almost fall. You're gonna almost, go down from the hits. But listen, I'm telling you, keep your eyes on God. Pray. Trust God. It's somebody praying for you that you don't even know about. Because they glad that God done changed you. They glad that God had his hands on you. They glad that God didn't allow you to die out there in the streets. Because you could have died in the streets. But somebody glad that you made it. And it's that somebody that you don't know about. It's that somebody that you don't barely talk to. It's that somebody that you see every day. That somebody's glad you made it out because you made it out. They know they can come out just because you made it out. So let me tell y'all something. I think the secret servant. I think the people that God has prayed, that's connected, that's praying, that's connected to surviving all broken pieces, that's praying. That's praying for me. Because let me tell you something. I know when you try to do something for God and you try to help build God's kingdom up, the warfare is going to be tremendous. And it's going to be some times where some hits going to come where I ain't going to be able to pray for myself. So I thank God for the secret servant. I thank God. My mind was so and I said, oh my God, my mind is all over the place. Like I'm on edge. I'm on tense. I'm on go. Like I'm on go. I mean, not go. Excuse me. I'm on ready. Like I'm on ready. Like whatever it is, it is what it is. Like however you want to do it. I was on that type of level. I had that type of energy. And trust and believe, anybody that knows me know when I'm look, it is what it is. But I thank God for the secret servant. I thank God for the people that's prayed out, that truly prays for me, Regina Crockett. That prays for surviving our broken pieces, that know that I am of flesh, that know that I make mistakes, that know that I'm not perfect, but yet I still got an assignment on my hand. That know that I fall short, but yet I still got an assignment on my hand. That I don't do everything God's way. No, I don't. But I got an assignment on my hand. Am I going to fall? Yes, I am. But I still got that assignment on my hand. So I thank God for those who's truly praying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I'm telling you, these past 3 weeks was rough. And still had to go out and look the part. You know, that camouflage spirit. Still looking the part. But yet got a lot going on. But I thank God for the secret servant. You understand what I'm saying? I thank God for the secret servant. So I thank you guys. Y'all don't understand, surviving our broken pieces, not just for y'all, it's for us. All of us together. We're doing it. We're surviving together. And I thank God for that. And listen, 2023, going into 2023, we're going to have a branch off part of surviving our broken pieces. And it's going to be called Let's Talk About It. It's going to be called Let's Talk About It. And it's going to be just a group, just a small group. I ain't going to say, I'm not even going to box God up in there. It's going to call Let's Talk About It. However God do it, it's going to be done. Because in my mind, I keep saying, I don't want but maybe a few people, 5, because then I'm putting a number on God, and that ain't God. So it's going to be called Let's Talk About It. Branch off on surviving our broken pieces. Excuse me, y'all. That's crazy. That's my prayer alarm to let me know that prayer was at 10 p.m. So y'all, please. I don't ask for forgiveness, but I won't. I'm not gonna ask for forgiveness, but I explained it to you. That was my alarm at 9:45 to let me know that prayer started at 10 o'clock. We'll start at 10. So thank y'all. So be looking. Stay tuned for Let's Talk About It. Again, they still got a couple more names on that angel tree in Emporia. Please go by, grab one of them angels out, make one of them seniors, bless them. A lot of them ain't got nothing. No, they ain't got nobody to give them anything. Listen, you mean to tell me that you can't buy them a warm pair of socks, a t-shirt, a box of boxes, go by, grab a name off. Pastor Katina, I think she's almost close with that 60. I don't know exactly how much more short she is. But I think she done reached her goal. If not, she's so close to it and doing 60 wreaths for Cortland. If anybody want to do some donations, please donate. I'm gonna get her to put her Cash App in the chat. Probably she'll if it's not up there now, she'll bring it in later. Donate. I looked on Facebook and I seen that New Greater Kingdom Church of Deliverance, they made their quote for feeding 100 people in Waverly. I thank God for that. I seen Angela McKay. Angela Bowser. I know for Angela McKay. I see they did a coat drive, and I seen that was successful. Let me tell you something. It's so many things that's going on that's successful. Let's go out. My sister Teresa, they got a thing where they're gonna, I think trying to feed two families. I want to say, look, invest, invest. That's what it is. It's investing in somebody else's life. It's investing in somebody else other than yourself. Look, give back. We got it. We got it to give. We do. We got it to give. Just take away from some of the stuff that you spending unnecessarily. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being part of Surviving Our Broken Pieces. Listen, my guest that I was gonna have this week, I will have them on next Tuesday. I won't be live the week of Christmas. Well, hold on. I think that is the week of Christmas. I won't be live the week of Christmas. I don't think. I don't think. Um, I don't think I'm gonna be live the week of Christmas. I may. Just if I do, just be on the lookout, y'all. Just be on the lookout because we're preparing for 2023. We're preparing for what God has in store for 2023. So we're getting a calendar date. We're getting stuff set up, put in order on what we're going, what we're doing, the different events that we're about to take place. So again, thank you guys for being part of Surviving Off Broken Pieces. If you want to donate to the platform, is SOOBP 2020 $ SOOBP 2020, which is Surviving Off of Broken Pieces 2020, the year that it got established. If you want to donate to the platform, that's fine. Every dime goes back into the people. Trust me, every dime go back into the events for the podcast. So y'all stay tuned, stay tuned. Oh my God, we prepared. We got some stuff. Let me tell you something. January is gonna be good. And when the started off of the year, it's gonna be good. The middle of the year, it's gonna be good. The end of the year, it's gonna be good. God's gonna do something, man. Oh my God, I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But y'all have a blessed, prosperous night, y'all. Pray for one another. Pray for each other. Pray for somebody you don't know. Just go into prayer again. My family, PA and BA, I love y'all so very much. Um, you know, God, everything is in God's hand. Everything is in God's timing. Um, we're gonna lay my auntie to rest on Thursday um, of this week. And when I think about when I think about my auntie and my auntie and my dad was dancing partners. Uh, and them two would get on that dance floor and cut a rug. So when she got sick and when she passed on, that would always be my memory. It's her and my dad, seeing her and my dad on that dance floor. And I'm gonna tell you something, my daddy could dance, don't play no games. My dad could dance, and him and my aunt would get on that dance floor, and them jokers would cut a rug. So again, y'all, thank y'all for being part of Surviving Our Broken Pieces. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. Y'all be blessed.